It's been a while, huh? It's time to show this channel some love and review another game. This time it's Kirby Mass Attack for the Nintendo DS, was donated by my good friend romaholic over at Livejournal. He also sent me this cute Waddle Dee plushie. As grateful as I am to have received such a generous gift, I'll try not to let my gratitude cloud my judgment and give this game an objective review. So without further ado, let's take a look at the Little Puffball's latest excursion into the world of platforming. For those of you unfamiliar with Kirby, he's a cute little dude who's been around since the 8-bit days of gaming. His games are generally pretty easy and are definitely aimed at younger kids. Nintendo of America has put a lot of effort in giving Kirby a marketing campaign that will appeal to adults as well, attempting to pass him off as an adorable killing machine, but if you've ever played a Kirby game in your life, you know he's about as malicious as a marshmallow. Mass Attack is no exception to Kirby's usual cutesy appeal, and like most of his more recent adventures, the gameplay is based around a gimmick. Rather than just one Kirby, you control 10 miniature Kirbys all at once. Kirby was just derping around on Popstar one day when all of a sudden the Skull Gang showed up and their leader Necrodius split Kirby into 10 different bodies, each with just a fraction of Kirby's regular strength. To restore Kirby to his former glory, you must travel through 5 different worlds and defeat Necrodius, all while collecting medals and defeating the many bosses. Each time you clear a world, Skullies swoop in and kill off all your extra Kirbys, so you start each world with just one. But don't worry, eating enough fruit will bring your Kirbys back to life and they'll happily rejoin you on your journey. Basically, this means you can have up to 10 lives at a time, but you get them all at once. Each Kirby can take one hit with no problem, but a second hit will turn it into a ghost. If you grab the ghost of your dead Kirby right away, it will come back to life at half health. But if you can't grab it in time, you lose that Kirby and you'll have to eat more fruit if you want to get it back. If you lose all of your Kirbys, you'll have to restart the level. Sounds pretty easy, right? Well, as the levels progress, more and more things will kill your Kirbys with one hit, and fruit becomes more scarce. There are no checkpoints within levels, and though most of them are somewhat short, some of them are long and have difficult puzzles to solve. The controls are incredibly simple. To move around, just drag the stylus and your Kirbys will follow it. If you want to hurry, tap the stylus repeatedly. And to attack enemies or interact with objects, all you need to do is tap the thing or fling your Kirbys at it and they'll go to town and do the work for you. What's interesting about the touch controls in this game is that the story actually explains how they work within the game's universe. Your stylus is a guiding star that Kirby follows on his way to find Necrodius. It's an interesting inclusion and somewhat novel. I often wonder, within most games, how the NPCs know what the A or B buttons are. Mass Attack is one of the rare games that provides an explanation, which I think is pretty neat. The gameplay mechanics of this game make it one of the hardest Kirby games I've ever played. You get up to 10 Kirbys at once, but they're awful at multitasking. Other than being able to give individual Kirbys tasks, you command them all as a group, and they all orbit around some invisible center point. This means if your Kirbys get separated, for example if they end up on opposite sides of a hazard, they will repeatedly run into the hazard trying to collect in the center again, easily killing off all of your Kirbys at once. If just one of your Kirbys ends up on the wrong floor of a tower, and the rest of your Kirbys are going the right way, you won't be allowed to move on and leave the one stray Kirby behind. Instead, at least one of your Kirbys will probably end up dying because somebody wasn't where they were supposed to be. Telling one Kirby to get out of the way will probably put all of your other Kirbys in danger, and often in the fray you won't be able to save a lot of your Kirby ghosts. This system does not allow for an invulnerability period between damage taken, so one mistake can cost you all of your lives at once. Also, though the controls are very simple, they're often imprecise. To fly, you simply need to touch your Kirby with your stylus and drag it. But because the stylus has a smaller circumference than your massive blob of Kirbys, a lot of the time a good chunk of your Kirbys will get left behind, causing the aforementioned issues of separation. To break or push heavy objects, you need to fling Kirbys at it by flicking your stylus across the screen. But aiming is usually difficult, and sometimes your target will be surrounded by hazards. Precision flinging is very irritating, and it's common enough to be a problem. For example, in Volcano Valley Stage 8, you need to smash this fist by flinging Kirbys at it. But it's surrounded by spikes, so if your aim is off, inevitably you're going to lose some Kirbys. As soon as you destroy the fist though, a cannon pops up to shoot you onto the next screen, and if you accidentally get into the cannon before you've saved all of your ghosts, you can't get back out again, and you have no choice but to leave them behind. In cases like this, I found the game actually becoming more difficult the more Kirbys I had, rather than easier. There are little things to help you out if the game does get too hard for you though.
If you fail a level too many times, invincibility lollipops will start showing up in it to help you out. If you lose a lot of Kirbys during a level, more valuable fruit will appear to help you get them all back. And ultimately, if you have too many Kirbys to manage and they start getting in your way, you can just kill them off. Kirby Genocide can be useful and fun! And however frustrating the little doofuses may be, this game makes up for it with all of its charm. This is probably the most adorable game I've ever played. Kirby is cute on his own, right? Well, try multiplying that amount of cuteness by 10 and you'll have some idea of how freaking sweet Mass Attack is. The Kirbys yell at the start of a level, every time they enter a door, when you fling them at obstacles, and even when they get hit they let out cute little yelps. When they run, their little mouths flap open and shut for no reason, and they're so silly and derpy, who wouldn't fall in love with them? I laughed every time I shot them out of a cannon and they let out a loud collective, "Whoa!" On top of that, the environments are gorgeous and the music is wonderful. A lot of classic Kirby themes are remixed here, with stunning results. I especially love the main theme of the game. It suits the mood perfectly. Though the story is relatively short, it took me over just 24 hours to beat. There are tons of extras to keep you coming back for more. There are cute and fun bonus minigames to unlock, like Kirby's Brawl Ball, a new vamped up version of Kirby's Pinball Land. There are tons of medals and gold stars to earn as an incentive to replay the levels, and there's a long checklist of more fun stuff you can do. I love platformers that reward you for exploring, and this game definitely does. It didn't take me too long to finish it, but it had so much replay value I was kept busy for ages.
In spite of a few frustrating gameplay mechanics, Kirby Mass Attack is a worthwhile addition to any DS library, and a great way to say goodbye to the handheld as the 3DS era begins. Many are calling this game the DS's swan song, and I don't disagree. It's a fitting way to take advantage of all the DS had to offer and a high note on which to end the DS's reign. It's been a great 7 years of gaming, and I look forward to seeing what the next generation of handhelds have in store.